Obviously, you speak Serbian.
Yes, I speak Serbian.
Do you speak German?
Yes, I had to learn German too.
Okay, you pick, but can you say for me, hi, I'm Sandra Schmidt, and you're entering a world gone good? Either language, anytime you want.
Hallo, mein Name ist Sandra Schmidt und seid ihr gerade in World Gone Good?
Say it one more time. That was perfect. One more time.
Oh no, please no,
No, you're good? Okay.
because it's German, I had to deal with German. It's not easy language for me.
Oh, wait, we'll do it in Serbian then.
I can tell you in Serbian. Zdravo, moje ime je Sandra I vi ste trenutno u programu World Gone Good.
Well, hello, my name's Steve, and this is the place where we shine the light on everyday people making good happen each and every day. Welcome one, welcome all to World Gone Good. Okay, pick one of these good things to do right now. Here are your choices. 1, share this episode with a friend. I want you to pause it, copy the link, text it to someone you love with a note that says, hey, this is something good I wanted to bring to you today. That's choice number 1. Number 2, rate and review us wherever you are listening right now. Pause this episode and hop on over to where you can give us some stars and a super quick 2-sentence review. Help us spread the good and get more people over here to join this here good party. Or 3, grab one of my 3 or all 3 cozy mysteries in my series, The Dog Walking Detectives. Pause this and jump on over to Amazon or Barnes & Noble websites, type in Drowntown, Murder Unmasked, and or Season Slayings, and get your digital copy on the cheap. You can read it right on your dang phone, people. These are the good options you can do. Which one are you going to choose right now? Live in the now. Do one of them now. Do all 3 of them now. Go for the good broke. And for doing so, we say, as always, thank you. Truly, thank you. So on our last set of episodes, we went to Iowa via Australia. And today, we're going around the globe to Germany via Serbia with our oh-so-good guest, Sandra Schmidt. I told you, it's called World Gone Good. We're going all over the world. Sandra is an animal psychologist, a science writer, a voice for the animals, a steward for the planet. And she may just be one of the most inspiring people we have ever spoken to, which is saying a lot. Because if you've been listening over the past 243 episodes, you know we have brought you some pretty inspiring and uplifting good people. What makes Sandra extra good, in my book at least, is that her love of animals and plants and forests and the earth itself is her passion. It's not her full-time job. She's got one of those, just like the rest of us, right? This is simply a passion project, simply sharing what she finds and learns with others. And her wish is that it sparks something in someone else to share their passion, whatever it may be. So, who's ready to get their spark on? Here comes Sandra Schmidt to share all the good she's bringing to the world. I'm going to start right here.
And right now.
And right now. So, for the first time ever, World Gone Good goes to Germany. Sandra Schmidt, where are you in Germany?
I'm in Bavaria. It's in a small village, Prax, not far away from Czech borders, but it's also not far away from München. It's about 2 hours by car. So I'm in the middle of Bavarian village, let's say that. Small village. Just 130 people.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
That is small.
Yeah, that is small. That's pretty much small.
Wait, so you got to take us through this. You have a market, you have a library, you have a guest. Yeah,
Yes,
you have all these things.
exactly. Everything. I
Okay.
have everything. Yes, I have everything like in New York. Not everything like in New York, but it's still good. Prax is still not like New York, but it's great.
That's amazing. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Serbia. Do you know Serbia, Belgrade? I was born in Serbia. That was Yugoslavia back in that time, but now it's just Serbia with Belgrade. So I grew up in a 2 million city, big city, and now I live in a small village.
What brought you to Germany?
My partner now, and I met him, and I decided to move to Germany. So from big city to the small village.
Yeah, but we share so many things in common, and as you know, I think it'd be more it could be culture shock either way, right? If you went from a 130 person populated area to a 2 million city or vice versa. What is the biggest difference for you? Cuz we made the move from Santa Barbara, California in the United States, which is 98,000 people to London, which is several million people. What's the biggest difference for you to move to such a small place?
I moved first because I moved to Hof. It's a little bit bigger city than Prax, but I live in Prax. It's 20 kilometers from bigger city where I work actually, and I moved then. Back at that time, I didn't know much about how is everything organized in Germany because I thought, okay, Bavaria usually has a perfect villages and you have everything you want there. It's not like some kind of stuck village and you can't move anywhere and do anything. It's pretty much good infrastructure and everything, and you can find a job. And it's a modern village, right? But it's also a traditional village. So first, I thought it will be boring for me because you moved from big city to one village, and it was some kind okay how I will deal with that. But after some time, I woke up and I was so happy that I don't deal with the traffic, that I don't deal with stress, with psychos, everything at one moment, and I was happy. Of course, it's just different. The small village, the small ideas. I mean, not small ideas by the people. The people are pretty much open and generous. It's a different like a big city. Here, everyone is jumping to help, and everyone is jumping to understand you, to give you a hand if you are stuck. And in big city, as I was, it was never that case. You just lived the lonely life in this direction. You just had your family and friends, and that's all, or colleagues, and then the circle is closed. But here, even if you don't know people, they somehow know you and will help to you, give you help. So I'm really pretty much happy, and nature, of course. The big reason that I'm happy here is a pure nature. I really live in the not far away, maybe 2 minutes from thick woods, and you have really forest, big forest, and all animals there. So I just find that perfect.
Which is your passion, right? Your passion is animals, and I want to. That's what everyone thinks right now. We're doing some sort of travel show right now. We're not doing a travel show. Everyone, pay attention.
No.
That's not why our guest is here today. But I want to start with this is a question that I ask almost every animal related guest we've had, and this is the question. Don't panic. What was your first pet? What was its name? And how old were you when you had it?
My first pet was when I was 10 years old. I got a Persian cat, Mimi. And after that, I was crazy about cats. Just the cats was everything to me. Since then, I'm obsessed with cats. After that, I had dogs, of course. When I was in Serbia, always dogs, cats, birds. Of course, fish, but dogs and cats, and first of all, cats. I'm just crazy about
Yeah,
cats.
you were a 10-year-old cat lady. You started young.
Yes. No, I just find cats are pretty much elegant and gracious, and they just don't need attention. I give them, and they even don't ask for attention. That's what I find by cats pretty much exciting and thrilling. They don't ask me for attention. I'm jumping there. Hey there, I'm here. Do you want my attention? And I have also 3 dogs. And with the dogs is always they are running, and here we are. Do you have a time for us? It's just like you have a small child, and that's the dogs, and you have teenagers, and that's the cats. You just
Yes,
see, okay,
perfect.
cats, we love you, but give us a break. We have uh, we have our time, and you are not just involved. And the dog is there, just we are here and we are happy. Can we do something together? So I love them both, but I am a more cat person. But I love dogs, of course. I wouldn't have 3 of them if I don't.
Yeah, we had 3 dogs up until last year. They were all seniors and they all passed right around the same time. It was very,
It's
very
difficult.
difficult.
Yeah.
And then we had our cat. And when we were moving to London, we dropped our cat with my best friend in Atlanta. And she loves him to death. And we were planning for him to just stay there as long as he needed. And we were looking for flats here. And we didn't know whether we were going to go and, it was working out really well there for him. And we didn't know whether we were going to go back, when we'd go back and get him, I should say. And then everything sort of lined up, and her cat that she has, female cat, who was getting along fine with him for the first 5 months, suddenly turned on him and wanted him out, like she was attacking him. And my friend called me and said, "We have an issue." And I said, "What's the issue?" And she told me. I said, "Well, this is really funny. I was actually going to call you and sort of hit you up and let you know, I think we're going to come get him." And she said, "Well, my heart is broken, but I think it's for the best." So we have him with us here in London. He's in our flat. He went from a small house to a tiny flat, and he's a cat. He's independent. He's happy to just be with us.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I think it doesn't matter which animal we have or which pet we have, but as long as you have it, you are just close to that pet, and you are just focused on them, and you love them like a family. That's not a that's just a fact.
Yeah.
You just accept them, you love them, and you can't live without them. Once you have a pet, you will always have a pet.
So in your LinkedIn profile,
Yeah.
your first 4 words of your own little summary, your profile of what you say about yourself is this. You say born to be different. And then you go on. So I want to ask you, why'd you write born to be different and what does that mean to you?
I actually wrote Born to be Different because there are many things in life you just need to choose the perspective. And I am usually one who doesn't follow the mass. When all of them say, "Okay, we are going to this concert because they said and someone said it's great." If I don't think that it's great for me, I'm not joining it. I'm not sharing the history, the mass history, or whatever. So once again, my friend told me, you have just been born to be different every time I see you, every time I hear from you. And I said, okay, that's great because I notice that every time I have some other ideas, and then other people, how come you come with such things like that? And I said, because I was born to be different. I can't just share the things which people most in common share, and that's okay. I mean, I don't accept that as some kind specific attribute that I'm born to be different. I just find that yes, I was born to be different, to do some other things which maybe other people find crazy or ridiculous or not interesting. They're that's okay. That's legitimate when someone say, "Okay, that's crazy for me. I don't like that. I wouldn't do that." But I think for myself, yes, I'm born to be different, and I will chase those things because I believe in them, no matter what others say.
Have you always been that way or did you grow into that?
I think I haven't been that when I was a child. I was normal, let's say normal, but but
You
after
weren't
that,
nor normal's
yeah.
not the word. Normal,
Yeah,
you
but
were
normal, but
young. You were
normal, being
young.
normal is underrated. So let's
Right.
say, let's say after a while, when I was in my um my studies life, then I change a little bit. I had another different interest and different ideas, and I was thinking, okay, just slowly you are turning into the person you have never believed you will be. That person. Somehow, I just started to have interest in some another areas and to show interest for something, some other things. And then I would say through the faculty, I chose to be on another side, or let's say to have another interest. And after faculty time, I just turn out to be authentic. Let's say, as my professor said, you're authentic. I just tried to follow that what I have interest in. If you don't follow that, somehow this sparkle, you lost it in the everyday. So I just code that and say, okay, I will follow that sparkle, before it's lost.
I love that because I think so many of us, especially when you're younger, we want to fit in, we want to fit in, we want to wear what everybody's wearing, want the haircut everybody's getting, we want to be able to talk about the same music, like you were just saying, go to the same concerts, same movies, and all have that in common.
And that's completely okay, because I'm one.
Yeah.
In some other aspects, I'm like everyone else. I like that fashion. I would shopping the whole day, even in the small village. Then I can order online. But you just see, you like things like everyone else. But on the surface, maybe you are like everyone else and nothing specific. But inside, deep inside, you are different than others, and you are aware of it. Okay, I won't fit. I won't try to fit in and crawl, and when I want to fly. That's my point. If I don't try to fit somewhere, if that doesn't speak for me, I won't be there.
You're a wildlife writer, you're an animal psychologist. Where did the spark come from? Was it your whole life? Was it just a moment where you just said, this is how I feel most connected to the earth, the world, my community?
I must say that changed when I moved to Germany. When I was in Serbia, let's say I lived in Belgrade. It's an urban city, urban area. I had animals, I had the nature around, but not so much as now. And okay, you just did your studies, and after a while I moved here, and even become even always more close to the nature. I saw how nature can be improved here with our acting, and then I see how we can't save everyone. We can't save everything in this world, or every forest, or every part of the nature. But we with our small steps, even in our micro world, we can change some. We can pretty much do the changes, because I notice that when I do my own garden and how I change. I have never earlier I have never thought I will have a garden, and will taking care of the pollinators or anything like that. 10 or more years ago, when someone would say you would have a pollinator garden, I would say, are you crazy? I'm not doing that. I'm not into that. But after a while, you just read and try to follow the nature, and you are somehow connected. And I found that sparkle. Okay, that's what I like. That's what makes me happy. That's something what when I wake up and I'm not tired when I think of that. You are just not tired when you think of it.
You have joy in it. You found the joy in it.
Yeah, because for me, it's not like a typical work where you're just working from 9 till 5, or you are working with the customers. That's all fine. That's all a job, and that must be done, and that's okay. That pays bills, and you love it in another way. But this is more than passion. This is more than your life invitation. Something, your purpose, your life purpose. When someone say, "What is your life purpose?" That's life purpose is to educate, to do something better than once someone will, when my colleagues or friends tell you change my view about them, death, and you see that they are trying to do the same with their gardens and to change something in their micro world, you did something, because each person will give it forward. That person will do that, and someone else will see from them and will like it and do this themselves too. And that's this domino effect. This when you like a wave, it's spreading all over. So that's my point. You give your example, and that sparkle or that enjoyment goes wide forward. You are sharing. Just sharing is this caring is sharing, or sharing this care. I find that special. That's this sparkle, what I'm sharing with others. And maybe someone else will also find his sparkles, maybe something else, but also his sparkles, and will share with his friends. And so we are improving the world.
Yeah, and someone listening right now to you speak, you may be that spark, that sparkle, that thing that they're thinking of doing, whatever it is, like you said, whatever they're passionate about, that makes them better, makes them feel better, makes the world some hopefully better, right? And that's important. And I think that's really, really amazing.
Exactly, because you never know. You got a question. I got always a question from some colleagues, friends, even from the people who are just passengers or just passing by. Yard, can you explain? Can you give me a hint? Can you give me ideas how I can do that? Or just call me and ask me. And that's what I find. I don't need money for that. I don't need any award for that. But for me, the biggest award is when you know that you change the opinion of even one person, who did believe in something else. And then after talking to you, this person changed his mind or her mind about something. I think that's the biggest step for someone like me, or in his purpose for improving the world, or from my side, because each of us can do that from his own side. The small things. I always say the small step is more important than the biggest one.
It is. And I'll tell you, it's funny you say that because I used to be out of my yard in Santa Barbara, and I was one of the only people on my entire block, probably in my whole area. I had a composter, and people would walk by, and I'd be turning it with my pitchfork, and it looked like a robot. It looked like R2-D2 from Star Wars, but it was all black. It was about almost 3 feet high, and I'd be turning it, and people would go, "Oh, I've been meaning," like strangers, "Oh, I've been meaning to ask you," and I'm like, "Hi, good morning, yeah, what is that? What are you doing?" And I go, "Come on in." And they'd come through my gate, because a little half gate, right? And they'd come up and they'd look in and like, "Oh, oh." And then I'd be like, "It's compost." And there was this whole idea for the longest time. And we did an entire show about composting called Composting Gone Good. Anyone listening, go listen to that one. It's fun. Um, but, they would look in, and I would say, "Put your hands in. You don't have to touch it. Just put your hands in." And they would. I go, "Do you feel?" And they go, "Oh, it's hot." And I go, "Yeah, it can get over 100
Yeah.
degrees-ish in there." And they'd be like, "Oh, look at all the worms." And I'm like, "Yeah, because the worms are eating and they're doing their job. They're eating and pooping and they're doing, it's going right through them. They're doing their thing." And then they'd be like, "Can I have some of this?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, bring a bucket or a barrel or whatever." I had people come by with wheelbarrows, and I would just dump it in because I couldn't use all of it. And I would tell them all the things that went in, and they were like coffee grinds go in it, human hair goes in it,
Eggshells and everything like
eggshells,
that. Yeah.
everything, and they were fascinated by it. But again, it's just like, it's a really wonderful thing when, not just sharing it, but that we connect with others, and maybe it does spark something in them to think like, "Okay, maybe I'll go do that thing, whatever my thing is."
Exactly. It must. It can be the same. It mustn't be the same. Okay, just one part of it. Maybe someone find totally cool and want to have by themselves such a things. And I find that they don't need to do everything what we do, or to do exactly what we do. But some part of it could be still interesting and still helpful. That's why I find that perfect. And do you miss your garden in Santa Barbara?
I do. It's more my husband's garden, but I did like it very much, and I just, it was wonderful time, and we've been through it a few times. We've lived in 4 places together, 4 different cities, and each one has served their time and purpose. And there's definitely things I miss about Santa Barbara, and then there's things I don't miss, right? And there's things you know, it is what. Listen, we got to stop here for a second because we're being way too inspirational and uplifting. I want to ask you this because, again, I'm loving talking to you. I have to ask you this because you're an animal, I want to say, activist.
Mhm.
Do you think that you are a voice for the planet? Do you think you're the voice for the forest? Do you think you're a voice for the animals?
I think I'm the voice for the voiceless, uh, and it doesn't matter who we consider under voiceless, But I think I can say I'm just voice for animals. I'm just voice for a tree or for plants or anything. I just think I'm voice for those who are forgotten, for those who we don't know anything about or not enough about. I'm just when I say for voiceless, I'm just always bring up the idea about wasps. Usually people hate wasp. I don't know how it's on your side or in the United Kingdom or United States, but here people are crazy when you mention just wasp. And 2 years ago, I just started with some kind of education that wasps are not so bad, and you can just understand their place and their role. In life, and I try to educate people through my videos how they are really chilled and how they are cool when you take them in hand. And after a while, I notice that people are just more relaxed when they talk about wasp, and they just say, "Oh, you changed my view about that," because they have always been bad guys. And I just say for such a things of like voiceless or just forgotten animals or forgotten part of the nature or forgotten creatures, I just like to bring it to the light. It's easy to speak about dogs. I love dogs or cats. It's easy to speak about because almost everyone loves them or not. Not to mention psychos, I'm not interested in them. They don't like themselves either. But I'm just talking about such things like wasps or some crazy creatures where spiders and people
Snakes.
are
Sure.
snakes, exactly. And you just bring them those unloved things and you just say, okay, let's change the view about them because I don't like that some creatures we like more. Okay, we are just a big, so we adore them, and some creature we just want them to move on, to kill them. Why? Because they have all the rights to be there like me and you.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
Mm-hmm.
my problem. And I think I speak for them a little bit in between. I speak for them and speak for everything what need to be spoken and told to people. People need to be told that nature needs us as we need nature. That's some kind of cohabitation. We need each others. We need to live in harmony. When you have a good harmony, every creature in your probably let's say in your yard. You can see that in your yard. You have your small ecosystem, and you see if you let them be and if you let them do their job, you won't have problem with the pests. You won't have problem with the creatures that attack your plants. You just have a harmony over there, and you just let them be. So I let them be. They work their things. My yard is perfect, and everyone is happy. That's harmony. That's perfect ecosystem. And I believe when if each of us let them just be and we back to our job, what we need to do, I think we would all be more happy or happier in this relation. Because people, I don't know why we try always to interfere somewhere and to decide who will live, who will die. You know what I mean?
Yes, I
I
do.
just can't relate that. It's of course it's in food chain in the nature too. I'm not elaborating that. That's completely fine because it's ein tool. It's something like nature is working its own mechanism. But who we are to decide who is more valuable to live, and who not. It's not my job to go in yard and say, okay, let's see. You are wasp. You want to live here. I will kill you. And you are bee. Okay, you are making honey. You will stay here. So it doesn't work like that in nature. Nature organize who is providing that food chain. How is that everything working? Not me. I'm not there to go and to say in my yard is only place for that or that. So I just did my own experiment last year and checked that everything that I let them simply be. I was surprised that yard is perfectly working, not any need for any chemical. That's simply perfect harmony over there. And I didn't do anything. I would just let them be and monitoring.
Yes, but you did do something, which is you're spreading education.
Yes, that's all what I can try. I can try that with my videos or can try with my articles to say, hey, people, let me hear you. Let me tell you something. It's okay if you don't like wasp. It's okay if you don't like snake. You can do that. It's your legitimate right. But please let them do their job. You just need don't need to be afraid. But many people are afraid because they don't know many things about them. If you explain them that this spider is not on this world to scare you, to follow you, to kill you when you sleep, it's you will get a friendly friendly animal in your yard, and you won't need to worry about some other pests, maybe what would attack your plants and everything, because spiders are not here to kill us or to attack us. But some people really think that. I was surprised that you speak with people and they say, I'm afraid that he will kill me when I sleep. And I will say, okay, here we need to work a little bit more, about that. Because I understand arachnophobia. I understand that you don't like such a creatures, and that's all completely okay. I don't need to like them all, of course, but I just need to be aware that each of them has a role, and I shall just accept that and learn about that role. Because when you learn about their role, it's not anymore this darkness. It's not anymore this fear, because you know more. As much as you know more, you can deal with this information, and your angst and this fear you can control more.
And speaking of that, so when you're writing articles, when you're finding articles, when you're sharing memes, whatever it is that you choose to do on a daily basis or whenever it is there a plan in place, or do you have an outline of what you want to do over time? Do you just come up in the morning and go, I think I want to share this today, or how does it work for you?
I'm just reading some articles all the time, National Geographic documentary, and I'm observing the nature, because each country has its own nature. What's happening in South America, or America, it's something different really what's happening here. And I'm just monitoring here what can I change, what it's related to me. Then I read what is related in America or Canada or Australia, and you just okay, that's new idea, people shall learn about that, because I also didn't know about that. We just need to accept our borders with the knowledge. There are so many things, of course, what I don't know, and every day I'm, wow, I didn't know that. The scientists over there found something really great, like a moth where in this moth, for example, it lives in a spider's web, and it's covered with the rest from food what spiders is eating, and this moth lives always in the shadow from a spider, simply to have some kind of shelter over there and to survive his life. And I was, wow, I didn't know that. It's somehow happening in South America, in Australia, in Hawaii, but I was still okay. I didn't know that. Many people didn't know that. I share them, or I will write an article about that. I find something like that really worth of sharing with people, because maybe some knows, but maybe many like me or many others wouldn't know that. I think that's knowledge is something which makes us feeling better every day. That's what I think, and helping also with compassion.
Our slogan for the year of 2026 on this show is Say Yes. So, my question to you, my friend, is what are you saying yes to right now?
Yes to compassion, yes to change the life with small steps for each of us in our own garden, in our own yard, in our own house. And then we will change when we make a domino effect and change the world. That's my message.
And the last three questions to wrap it up: where do people find you online? How do they follow you?
They can follow me on Instagram. I can share with you, Sarah, wildlife researcher. There are videos and everything there. So I'm trying to post regularly there, and sarahmaxresearch.com.
And the last two questions can go back to anything we've already talked about or anything you want to say. Question number one is this: who inspires you?
I think animals all over the world, they inspire me. Their lives and how they deal with us humans, they inspire me because they always need to deal with us, and it's not always easy.
I love that.
It's true. It's fact. They need to deal with us. We can deal with us ourselves. We can deal with us ourselves, and animals, they must deal with us because they don't have a choice.
The final question is not a question. It is a statement to finish. You can finish it any way you like. Finish this statement. Tell me something good.
Tomorrow will be sunny day in Germany. I hope in UK too.
I'll take it.
Please do. It's a positive and we can hold on it.
Thank you, Sandra, for sharing your good with us. Next time on World Gone Good.
How do we turn our darkest moments into moments of power? How do we transform pain into power? How do we transform dark thoughts into something which can evolve? Those moments that are the toughest, those moments we don't understand, that are in confusion. I aim to make works of art that illuminate, that bring healing and bring light and bring, a sense of beauty back into the world.
We are going from Germany now all the way to Spain, to Ibiza, to meet a wonderful artist, an amazing artist, and an oh-so-good artist. I keep saying the word artist, don't I? Sequin K, that is her name. She is a fascinating Brit who just happened to be in Spain right now, and that's when we recorded, but I'll take it because it's World Gone Good, and we go anywhere and everywhere, as you know. She works with crystals. She works with sequins. She works with paint. And she is all about expression, connectivity, and communication. She's also something really amazing, which is an inspiration for all of us out there who are questioning, hey, should I do this? The answer is yes. And Sequin K is going to tell us why on our next all-new episode. Until then, be good.